Welcome to Kranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Kranky, and this is the Kranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Kranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Kranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Kranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing? Bless up Real Madrid. Thanks for joining. I have this impromptu show I wanted to do today. So, bless up for Ruth. I didn't really plan to do a show. I was here doing some stuff and said, you know what? I can jump on for an hour and talk some football, given that we just played a game yesterday and there is mixed emotion. But as we do this, I want to have fun too. So I'm gonna play a little bit of music first, and then we can jump into some football discussion. Thanks, Ricardo. No, Ricardo, no, I hear this. So, Ricardo, just say close your ears. Close your ears, Ricardo. Close your ears. We need it. No. Like this wrong. We start over. Eastern Sector. This one is for Ricardo. Comes from Kranky Live in the US. You know, we go. Ricardo, I know it's hurt your ears, but you know what? You have to deal with it, my youth.
Reggae boys, now is your time to play football like it's fine wine. You have the skills for the battlefield and to make your opponents heal. But you have to have ball possession
to
ensure good
ball progression. Ricardo, hear this?
Players possession cause
Possession is all obsession. From far and wide, but them being like a pick up side.
Need to change that style of
play.
play.
Hey, Steve,
Do
do you hear what I say? Bless up, people. Bless up. We have fun. It's not fun. Bless up, Jargons. Thanks for joining. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. As I say, it's an impromptu show just to talk some football. I was thinking about the game quite a bit, actually. And it's interesting that we have been preaching. I'm not, you're giving too much credit, Ricardo. Yeah, I got, wait. I'm going to change the song. I did get ball possession. I did get ball progression, but there was something missing. There was no goal. I have goal obsession too, so I have to change up the song. Probably let her write another one. See, Ricardo, I'm getting inspiration to write another song. I write something called because we don't get we didn't get any goals. I didn't think about the goals in the song, which is the ultimate. So we got ball possession, we got ball progression, we played the ball between the lines, we played the ball out wide, we dominated the game. We were playing against 10 men most of the second half, and yet we didn't get the outcome we're all looking for. So I would say, if I'm thinking about the negatives, because I got to go negative first before I go positive, because I like to end things like a positive note. And thanks for asking for the likes, people, because only half the people have hit the like. In fact, less than half have hit the like button. I don't know why people are so stingy with likes in the people. And especially if you're a recurring visitor to this platform, and you know I'm always going to be a little bit perturbed if the likes are not hit. So just hit the likes when you come in now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the prompt that I see other YouTubers use. And when you come in, ask if you hit it or not. And if you're in that 20%, you should just, I'm not sure why you come in. Because like, normally it's about 20% of people don't hit the like button for whatever reason. But yeah, so I'm going to start with what I consider to be the negatives, right? But the negatives are just part of the whole equation. So negatives would be that we didn't take our chances, right? We had about, and I counted, SofaScore had 3 big chances. I counted more than 3. I counted 2 from Antonio. I counted 2 from Lowe, and I counted 2 from Gray actually. Even though one may say the left foot one bounced up on him, but he had 2. The one that the keeper saved, that's a big chance. So that's 6 big chances I count, not 3 as SofaScore did. I think they probably had the 2 low chance and 1 for Antonio. I had about 6. Yes, I got what I asked for, but inherently in that request was for us to score goals, right? And I think people are ambivalent about the performance, right? So I heard Palmer say this. I heard a lot of people saying this. Is Jamaica best performance ever since we have had this group together? I don't agree with that, by the way. I drawing against an inferior team doesn't conjure up best performance. We did what we were supposed to do given the level of the opponent, and except winning the game. So negatives would be we dominated, but we didn't win the game. Negatives would be we missed so many chances. Negative would be the one time, bless up Sherman Scott, we had crowd in the stadium. I know the last game it was better than the previous times. We didn't send them home happy. We send them home confused, basically. So we've all been crying about, I won't say crying, we've all been requesting and besieging the crowd to come out and support the team. And I've heard different numbers being portrayed or indicated concerning the attendance, but it seemed like the attendance was probably north of 20,000. Because when you first saw the screen, when you first saw like bleachers, they showed you from the grandstand angle, guess where the camera is situated, there were quite a bit of gaps and empty seats, even though you see a lot of yellow. But as a typical West Indian, because it's not just Jamaican, I think half the crowd came at halftime. Maybe they were coming from work, maybe they stopped someplace, but half the crowd seemed to have coming after halftime. And the stadium was it wasn't packed, but it was a well-attended crowd. I'm sure the players were pleased, and I'm sure they're disappointed they couldn't deliver. Now, what are the positives? So those were the sort of negatives for me, actually. The positives were a number of things. One is we maintained possession. We moved the ball between the lines. We moved the ball out wide. The midfield, and you notice my thumbnail had the 3 midfielders. I'm not sure if you guys realize that. There was a reason for that. It wasn't by chance. I thought the midfield played really, really well, especially Palmer. So I thought Bobby Reed did what Bobby Reed does, work hard, make some good passes. His crossing needs work, though, and I'm very disappointed in his crossing because both he and Gray, by the way, because given where they play naturally, how they play, they're better cross of the ball than they did. And they weren't hitting Antonio up top. They weren't hitting Nichols when he came in the game. It just wasn't happening, and they should do better than that. Right? So it's positive and negative. Negatives are my forwards. All my 3 forwards, quote unquote, the 2 wingers and the center forward, all my 4 forwards actually that played most of the game, not talking about Campbell and Kahim when they came on, all my 4 forwards got golden chances. In fact, no, it's not 6 big chances, it's 7 big chances. So what are the 7? The one that the keeper saved from Gray, he was in the 18-yard box. Got to put that away. I know he's a good save. The one that he's miskicked with his left foot when he got put in on goal. The one that Nicholson missed from in the goal. Because I don't know how you missed that, people. From in the goal. He missed it from in the goal. People say it's 1 yard from the goal. He kicked the ball over the goal from in the goal. That's hard to do, people. The 2 that Antonio missed, the one he fell down, and the header, he had the first chance of the game. And then Jamal Lowe, the first one he got where the ball bounced, sweet, nice, just needed some help in the goal, and he tried to beat 2 men to score. And his second one where he came in the box, the ball was cut back beautifully, I think it must have been Gray. And instead of just taking his time and control the ball and placing the net, he kicked with his left foot out of bounds. So 7 clear chances. So in essence, one could say that we dominated. We had 73% possession. That must be a misnomer because we don't do that. We don't have that in any game, no matter what the competition is. So it showed you a combination of things, which is either we are playing better or the competition is bad, or a combination of both, actually. And maybe a combination of both. The only threat Cuba posed in the night was a left winger against Lambakisa. Seemingly was a very good player. He was willing to take him on. But apart from that, they had one free kick, which went wide but looked dangerous. They had a ball that Blake dropped when he came out for a cross, and it fell, and they took a shot on goal. But they weren't a threat most of the night. And so we have to put our chances away. Warren is saying, so based on your poor performance, if we play this team again, all things remain equal. No, we won't lose to Cuba. Well, nothing is impossible, right? But they had 10 men second half, entire second half. So that's also a negative. The entire second half, they had 10 men, and we still couldn't score. Which is not a good thing, people. Not a good thing. That can't be the case. No, this team is not in our class. Look, we only have 4 games in this half of the tournament, right? There's 6 or so teams, I think. And we play 4 games, 2 home and 2 away. The first one away is on Tuesday against Honduras. And the top 4 teams from Group A and B will go through to the quarterfinals, right? So in essence, if you look at the teams in there, we should go through, but this dented our chances quite a bit, actually. And Tuesday will be the defining game, I think, even though all is not lost if we lose Tuesday. But Tuesday is the defining game for us in Honduras. It's going to be a really good game. They looked brilliant against Trinidad last night, scoring 4 goals, and probably could have scored more. They took their chances really well, and some of these were not clear-cut chances. The first one was a rocket from outside the box in the top corner. So they're going to be very competitive and very difficult, and we have to figure out how to overcome them. But yesterday didn't go as well as I'd like it to have gone, actually. It was very disappointing. You're watching the game and you're saying, we're going to score, we're going to score, we're going to score. And the score never, ever came, which is hard to digest. But the big thing for me is, 1 is we kept the ball better. 2 is the midfield came alive. 3 is, which I think is as important as the play on the field, is that the fans turned up. And by the way, I saw Kyle's marching band. They looked really good. They were loud. They were colorful. It was good. And Kyle called into this program. Kyle lived in the States. He called this program. He was in Jamaica, actually. He commissioned the band to come together with sort of cheerleaders, and they made it a pageantry and a really well enlightened affair, which was really, really good. A lot of costumes, a lot of music, a lot of excitement. And I think they generated excitement outside and inside the stadium, which was good. Are we getting paid to see the team play well? What does that mean, Parish Council? I'm confused. What do you mean? Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, Kyle is part of Reggae Boys community, actually. I think his Reggae Boys community is part of, or some Reggae Boys club, actually. So I'm not sure if his community, if there's multiple parties involved. But I know I met up with him 2 weeks ago, and we had talked about this quite a bit, actually. And he was trying to talk to JFF to get this done. So I guess whoever he's working with, there are other groups involved, got it done, and it looked really good. The pageantry looked really good, actually. So Parish Council explained. The phone line is open to people. You can't call in. This is only an hour show, so we're not going to do this all evening. I want to watch Deion Sanders and Colorado play Nebraska. Comes on at 7:30 U.S. time. I want to see all this noise about Shador, what's his name, Sanders. And I'm also going to be talking NFL at some point in the next 2 weeks, maybe starting tomorrow. I haven't decided yet, but I'm an NFL fan. I'm a basketball fan. I'm an EPL fan. I'm a Jamaica fan. I'm a track and field fan. I love sports, so I talk sports. So if you want to call in people, you can do so. Warren said, we should have won the darn game. That's pure prostration. Interesting. You sure that's what you want to say, Warren? Why can't we do it? But it's a missed opportunity with number 5. Yeah, I think it is, actually. But having said that, there are 2 things. So we've been calling for 2 things. No, we've been calling for 1 thing. We've been calling for keeping the ball. But we assume when we kept the ball, we're going to put the ball in the net also. We didn't realize that when we say keep the ball, we gave up scoring the goals, right? So that was not in the cards. That was not planned. That was not our expectation, but that's what transpired. So in essence, we didn't have to put it together against Honduras. We won't be keeping the ball that well against Honduras as we did against Cuba, because Cuba didn't really pressure us, right? Cuba played low block, and they weren't even trying to counter that much. Yeah, they tried to go to the left winger quite a bit, but they weren't even trying to counter that much, as you would expect. You play low block, you get the ball, and then the opposition of overcommitted players, and you can go behind them. They weren't even doing that. So in essence, it wasn't much of a competition to me, and we dominated. But no matter how much you dominate, you have to put the ball in the net. And I think we learned a good lesson from that game, which is the one thing I would say is this: even though people may say we haven't necessarily satisfied the fans, I've always said this: football is entertainment, and goals are the key part of that entertainment. But also, what's important is if I come to the game and you're playing kick and hope football, I'm turned off. I don't really want to watch a game because it's a waste of my time. But if you're possessing the ball and you're moving the ball and you look dangerous, and I'm queasy, concerned once or two in an entire evening of 90 plus minutes of football, then I can walk away saying, you know what, I may come back because I will say I will come back because I was entertained. So I wouldn't say that fans won't return. To the contrary, I expect them to return. It's next year is World Cup qualification again, and the following year is World Cup. So there is no time like the present for fans to get involved. But I'm gonna digress a little bit. I want to talk about something else actually. So I still think we need players, right? I still need players. And those players are not going to be local players because those players need to continue to improve to get to the right level. But we're not going to be able to bring players in. And I really listened to the interview that Manning's man gave with Pinnock, or Pinnock gave with Manning's man, about some of the things he talked about, which is, decision to play for your heritage country or your parents or country where your descendants of parents or grandparents. Those are individual decisions. And some people will make it at different points in their lives. Some may make it when they can't make their team or the country they were born in. Others will make it much earlier and decide early, right? Dexter did it early. K. Roy did it early. Connor Boyce Clark did it early, right? And there are a number of others who want to do it early too. So when we have this perception that some players are going to wait for England, and when you hear the coach says that's what they should do, I totally disagree with that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is this. Because I think part of the problem that players are having who are trying to pursue their citizenship is PICA. I don't think PICA has been what I would call it. They haven't been as proactive. Well, here's the problem. We don't have, when you travel and you're in first class or business class and economy, and they have two different lines, or when you go to Heathrow, for example, if you have a British passport, or when you have a Euro passport and you come to JFK, you have citizen versus naturalized green card versus visitors. They go to like different lines, and the expedited line is the line where, for like the citizenship line, for example, we don't have any VIP line to go to PICA, no matter what the facts and situations are. And I would think that for a number of countries, the nature of, whoever is applying for the citizenship, there should be a process where if it needs to be expedited, there's an expedited route. I don't think there's any such expedited route. And so you will see people trying to get their citizenship, and it takes a while, and it doesn't happen fast, and people are understanding what's happening. And sometimes what happens is this, people, and it's happened before, and people may not realize it, is that because it takes such a while, people's lives move on, and they may decide, you know what, I'm going to go through this. This is ridiculous. I'm going to stay where I am. I'm going to try preparing for my home country. It's happened, people. It's happened more than once. It needs to change. So I don't know if the JFF doesn't have any contact at PICA. My understanding is there's a new head of PICA who they probably need to engage, but there need to be a process to improve that process to enable those who qualify to represent the island and the coach they think they can add value, that's done to bring them into the team, get their papership done. It's been a few people now. It's been a number of people over the years where it's been a very frustrating process. And there are instances where people just say, you know what? I can't deal with this. I'm not dealing with this. I'm done. Right? I'm done. I'm not dealing with this. And we don't understand that these things happen. Because we may all believe that, you know what? They have the documentation. And some of the documentation, if it's grandparents, think about your grandparents or great-grandparents who may have birth certificate from the 40s or 30s. Those days, they probably just have your first and middle name on it in those early days. And those things may fade out. 1930s is almost 100 years ago, right? So it will take a little more time to get that information, and PICA should be working with them to do it expeditiously. And that's not happening. Bless up, Eagle Republic. That's not happening the way it's supposed to happen, people. And that's part of the problem. So when you hear names being dropped, like you hear the president for the JFF drop all these names, I don't know if any of them are coming anytime soon. I don't even know why we do that. I don't even know why he did that, actually. Maybe it's just appease the crowd or appease people, but yeah, some of those paperwork probably are in, but they ain't dropping anytime soon. So I don't think that information should be disclosed. Here's my view. That should only be disclosed when the people got their papers. I don't think we should be projecting out or prospecting or insinuating or even expressly saying that the papers are being processed when process can take a while. And it's not, if your papers are straight, as I know, it takes about 4 months. If you're going by your mom or your dad and you have all your paperwork and the names coincide, because think about these people. People's name change. It could be on the mom side versus the dad side. All those things don't align. You got to figure it out. It takes a while for some of these things. You got to make sure the names align. Sometimes the names of a word misspelled or a letter are misplaced, and it causes problem. But I don't think the relationship is there. I don't think the JFF has the influence, frankly, as it probably should, or there is a coordination between the JFF, Ministry of Sports, and PICA to make sure there's a route being taken where these things are done quickly. And if there are mistakes made or paperwork not where they need to be, that there are people there working with them to rectify it. I don't know if the JFF need to contribute some money to get somebody in that role and pay a part of that fee. But whatever needs to be done should be done now to get these things. We're trying to get into World Cup qualification next year and World Cup the following year. There should be no delay in these people getting their paperwork. We should be doing this 24/7. Bless up Jason Gunnar. We should be doing this 24/7. We should be saying, look, who wants to come? Okay, these are the 6. What paperwork do you need? Do we need? Okay, providing what you have. This is not sufficient. Somebody work with them. We get it sufficient. We get paperwork done. We get clearance from the FAs and from FIFA, and we're done. We move on. We just seem to be going around in circles. And PICA, and by the way, people, the way PICA operate is, if there's a mistake in your paper, PICA ain't contacting you and say something's wrong with it. That thing gonna sit down there forever. You didn't got to figure out that something was wrong and contact them. They ain't contacting you. So your paperwork may be sitting there in some file in some corner, just wasting away. And that can't be right. So PICA, get your act together. Work with the program, PICA. You're not big enough in the country. Work with the program. We understand you have a job to do and you want to do it right and do it the right way so we don't have any issues, but you got to do a better job. Got to do a better job. It's not a good look where some players are going through the process forever and can't get these things rectified. Now, I did get some communication, and in this city, people get enough communication. I did get some communication about one player. Let's see if I see the player information. About one player who qualifies to play for Jamaica. Don't know if the coach wants him in the squad. I'm trying to remember his name. He plays in Holland. I am going to find his name, see who he is, and see what the story is. I think he used to play for Feyenoord, plays for a team with start with an H. It's a funny name. We have to look it up, but he's a right back. And he played under 17 for Holland. He's not in the Dutch squad. but he's playing in Eredivisie. So I think that's something that we should look into. We shouldn't leave any stones unturned. Bless up, Vincent. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I can play. Yes, Farouk. This is what he said.
There's one player who's shining at the moment who's not in the squad. This player is Mason Greenwood. Are you watching his game in Marseille? He's still considered as a player you can hold?
Yeah, Mason wasn't a player that we can consider, to be honest now. I'm aware of how he's doing, but he wasn't under consideration.
So let me say this, people, because I heard other people coming on YouTube saying they have read paper and they're saying that he's still under consideration. I don't think you guys are listening when you hear that nonsense. He ain't playing for England again. Let me just talk some patois. Him now play for England again. Him career with England done. Here where Carsley says he wasn't under consideration. That means they have moved on. That means they've taken the temperature of the room, which is the England environment, and says, Mason's too toxic. He can't play for us. So those people are going out there brandishing information every someplace. Please stop doing it. Listen to what the man says. He's the coach or the interim coach. He said he's not under consideration. I don't care how well he plays. I don't care if he scores a goal a game for the rest of the season. He ain't under consideration. If he comes back to England between the press, all these other groups that are out there, they'll destroy the kid. He shouldn't even consider it. He shouldn't even consider it. So Eagle Pro says, Kranky, I'm in my 50s and I had a white birth certificate which was handwritten. Who fill up my who went to the millionaire and drew my entry. So what did you do, Eagle Republic? What did you do? Because people don't realize all these things were messed up in the old days, you know. This isn't like an industrial country. Like my stuff in England is beautiful. I still have my birth certificate. Can you believe it? It's beautiful. My mom name's on it. When I had my mom's birth certificate was good though. I had my mom's birth certificate and it was good. It was clean. It was from Jamaica too. It was clean. Didn't have issue. I had hers. I had mine. We had the same last name. Boom, was done. Took no time. When I went to get my citizenship, you fill out the citizenship paperwork and the passport at the same day, and they both came at the same time. So you didn't have to go get citizenship and then wait and get your passport. They were all done at the same time, actually. You could do that simultaneously when you go to the location where the embassy is to fill out the information. So, yeah, but I know a lot of people who have had, even people born in Jamaica and just trying to update information, have had problems with either their paperwork or whatever it is, a letter missing, a word missing. People who fill out the stuff don't fill it out right. A bunch of different stuff. But it's a good thing, people. It's a good thing that kids want to play for Jamaica. And you hear me, I'm gonna mention this. You hear me being very perturbed and very vocal about the fact that we shouldn't have a quota. And people were like, Kranky, you're inconsiderate because you're not thinking about kids who are on the island. And my view is that you're not thinking about the kids that are not on the island. Right? I mean, if you think I'm not thinking about it, I have thought about it, but you're not thinking about those other kids who grew up with that mindset that they want to play for Jamaica, who weren't born in Jamaica. And people, I've heard some stories of people going through the process to get this citizenship. Painful. Because think about it, you may not have some of the documentation. You got to do research, you got to spend money, do all this bunch of stuff. And you come to the end of it and you're told, oh, you can't be the team because you don't meet the quota. Or you can't be the team for whatever reason. It's not a good look. And sometimes I know more than what I'm saying, but it's not a good look, people. It's not a good look. Not a good look. It's not a good look at all. We got to do better. We have to do better. And if we do better, we'll be amazed at some of the players we would get. And we wouldn't have these arguments about, oh, they only want to play for where they were born and they're not committed and all that stuff. Even a couple of players you guys know about who people complain are not committed. If you knew their story, you may change what you're thinking. I'll just say that. If you knew their story, then your perspective may change. In fact, I'm sure it would change in some instance. Right? So I don't think I would agree that a number of kids want to grow up and want to play for where they were born, but I see the same fight happening in the U.S. with Mexico and the U.S. I see the same fight happen sometimes with Holland and the U.S. Wherever kids are located, you'll see that. You watch the England versus Ireland match today. Declan Rice played for Ireland through all the age group, and he played 3 games for the Ireland national team, but they were all friendlies. Grealish played through all the age groups, and they both scored against England. They both scored against Ireland today, even though they grew up playing. They were born in England, but they played for Ireland because of ancestry, just like all the kids are doing. Right? And so it was a big deal about, even Lee Carsley is born in England, he's English, he played for Ireland, 40 caps for them, and the big discussion today was about him not singing the national anthem. Right? Really interesting. So this thing that we're talking about is not unique to us. Right? We're just taking it more personal, and because we don't necessarily have so many resources and the prominence, we take it even more personal than it probably should be. I look, CC, I think it's the fault lies everywhere. The fault lies with a few people. It may lie with it lies with the JFF quite a bit, because that means they haven't been promoting the player and marketing the player and get the players out. It lies with the media, who may not be giving the visibility to the players that they deserve. It could even lie with the players, who may not be as available as one would like to promote them. So I don't know where it primarily lies, but it lies in a lot of different places. All right? Yeah. It's not Antonio, Ben Godfrey, Calvin Phillips, Raheem Sterling. There are a bunch of players who are brilliant coaches said weren't good enough to play for Jamaica or play for the junior team. And the under-20 team, I'm telling you, people, there are a number of players with some really serious pedigree who were not allowed to be in the under-20 team that went and played against the U.S., Cuba, and Costa Rica and got, what handed to them. And if they brought in a lot of these players that John Wall wanted, would have been a different outcome. They may not have made the World Cup, but a different outcome. All right, Claudine. Like you eat your Wheaties this morning. Because you always come in and want to hit the like button for whatever reason. And even though you hit it, Claudine, see, a lot of people haven't hit it. But I'm not even going to talk about no like, because this is Saturday. It's my off day. I just decided to just talk some football. It's my off day today. So I'm not gonna complain about like. So you can say it took me 4 years to get my birth certificate corrected. That's also held up my citizenship, U.S. citizenship, because see, Eagle Republic, they don't. So Eagle Republic, you messed up. You messed up, Eagle Republic. In Jamaica, if you provide resources, you get outcome. I'll put it that way. So maybe you went through the process the normal with Eagle Republic. But if you provide resources, you get outcome. That's all I'll say about that. And I think what happens is people think a lot of people who play football in England have money right away. Some of these kids and their parents have no money. So they go get a passport is a burden. It's a financial burden for them. And some people may not think that way. They're in the academy. They're making no money. That's why we have to create the environment whereby if we sometimes need to sponsor some of these kids to get there, but we have to make sure we want the acknowledgement and the view from the parties in charge and make a decision that if we help these kids get what they need to get, they're going to put them in the team if they're good enough. So, yeah. So, CC saying there was 20,000 people in the stadium yesterday. Do you really read Campbell Dixon? Was there a reason for this? No. None of them were reasons for it. They're a part of it, but they're not the reason for it. There's a difference. No, I think 876 has been promoting the game, utilizing family type construct for this. YouTubers been talking about it. Regular media been talking about it. No, everybody's promoting the game, CC. So let's not go with this local thing that draw them. No, because most of them are not playing anyway. Low and Blake has always been there, and they're not coming. Reed didn't play. Dixon barely played. Campbell barely played, and King didn't play. So let's not go that route, CC, about local players drawing the crowd. They ain't drawing no crowd. The crowd was drawn by people realizing that, you know what? We're probably 2 years in the World Cup. We got to support the team. The JFF has employed 876 and has worked to get the message out. We have social media forums talking about this 24/7. So I think the combination of those factors helped to bring people to the stadium. Plus, people are also getting more comfortable with the players, and they've been playing for a while now. We actually picked the team without having any reservation about who's going to be in the team. There may be one or two players you miss out based on formation, but we knew what the team is. See? Man saying getting passport in 3 days. You have connections. My connection ain't broken sometime, you know. But I went through the regular process. It took me 4 months to get me the papers. But no, in Jamaica, if you have resources, you can influence to get things done. Yeah, CC. A lot of people in Jamaica have this misconception about certain things, you know. Or they promote certain things, CC. I hope you're not one of them. And see, Claudine asked that question, CC. You're going to ask those players the ones who draw it. Now, me and Claudine go back and forth about Antonio. And Claudine want to beat me about Antonio, so I don't know me I talk about me don't know football. But I am a YouTuber, so I don't know football. I'll admit that. But I know a little bit, I think. No, they want to beat players, CC, because sometimes if you're not scoring goals, you'll get beat. There were no players beaten yesterday. The only people should get beaten yesterday, I wouldn't even call it beaten. Critique would be the people who miss the goals. There are not players get beaten. People may say, you know, people that come picking on Damian Lowe. Damian, if you're listening, you're probably going to say, hey, Kranky, not about football. You can't tell me nothing. But I'll tell you anyway, Damian. Reduce the number of long passes. You know what? I'm going to pull up something, people. I'll pull up something. This is important. I'm going to come to you, Claudine. Yeah, well, disrespect will happen across the board, not just for English-born players. I wasn't there, so I don't know how bad it was. So I probably shouldn't say that. But if they were disrespecting the players, that's not good. And we can't tell them to stay home because we need their money. So if I go to Damian Lowe, people, I'm going to show you something which is important. And Pinnock. If you look at these two, I don't know why this is not. I got to make this. Let me get this broader. So that's Pinnock. Why is the low numbers not showing? Let me try to narrow this down and bring it up. And it's not moving, people. I'm going to have to do low. I'm going to do it the other way around. Let me redo this. Not sure why I'm not getting the low numbers to come up. Let me do Pinnock first. Or maybe I'll state them on and come back. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Because low got a lot of beating for, let's see if this works now. A lot of beating low got for, I guess, how he played in terms of the long balls that he played. And I think at some point he needs to move on. So this is low. So he had his passing accuracy, people, was 87%, right? Which is really, really good. I don't know what's happening with my thing. It's freezing. I have to take it out and come back. 87% was his passing accuracy. And it was significantly reduced by the fact that he tried a lot of long balls and the long balls weren't working. The long balls for him wasn't working. And he keeps doing it and it ain't working. And he don't realize that it's not working. I don't know why this thing is freezing on me. It's not working and he keep making a long ball. I think he was probably 3 of 13 on long passes. Which to me suggests that he should just let Pinnock do the lamp. Somehow my thing is freezing, people, and I can't get it up to show you the long passes. Actually, it's stopping at key passes. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm gonna get out of this and come back in. But it was so his passing accuracy was 87%, and he had missed like 9 or 10 of 13 long passes. So if the long passes weren't there, he probably would have a 95, 96% passing accuracy when people would get excited about it, even though a lot of those are very short passes. But the point I'm trying to make is that he may not look as bad from a stats standpoint or from an overall performance standpoint if he stopped trying to make those long passes, because it's not working. It's not his thing. Now, he may think it is, but it's not. I hate to tell him, but it's not. His long pass is not working. All right, so let me go back and pull this in. His long pass is not working, and yet he doesn't seem to realize that. And it's going to be a problem for him because people are very critical of him, actually, very critical. Very, very critical. If you listen to the show I had yesterday, and it wasn't that the there was always people who were saying he shouldn't be in the team, which I don't necessarily agree with. So my numbers were off. He was 5 of 11. So he missed 6 passes, right? If you add the 6 to the 58, he would be 64 of 67. Right? 64 of 67, which is really great passing accuracy. And by the way, he was not only making long passes, he was also trying to pass the ball between the lines, which I think he's much better at. Maybe his time in midfield helped him to do that than when he tried to go over the top, which didn't make sense to me because it's not working. As I said, he would have been about 95, 96% if he was making those long passes. Yeah, he needs to get, I agree with you, Onon. He needs to get, I don't know why he keeps going long and he can't go. The problem is he doesn't get the ball up high enough and with the right pace to get it to where it needs to get to. So Low was, so let me put up the pinup numbers. Somebody asked the pinup numbers. They were not close, people. So here are the pinup numbers. So Pinnock was 11 of 13 on long balls. Low was 5 of 11. So Pinnock only missed 2. And frankly, one of them he missed was very close to Dexter. It's from left to right. Just went out of bounds. So it was a turnover, but it didn't go to the opposition. And I forgot the other one that he missed. But you see his numbers. He was at 93%. He only missed 6 passes, while Low missed 6 of those long balls. Yeah, I think he's probably confident in his ability, but yeah. CC, you can call in, but it's a 5-minute allowance for calling in time. So I know it's very hard for you and my friend Pastor to talk for 5 minutes and 433, but it's only 5 minutes. Because it's an hour's program. It's not a 2-hour program or a 3-hour program. I just came in to have some fun with you guys. By the way, people, I'm Claudine. I hate to say this, Claudine, but I can't have fun unless the lights go up and I feel kind of fuzzy. And see me, I sacrifice my football game for now, or for myself, but for all of us, because I can't spend time. I watch. I mean, I'm going to have a long evening today. The game between Colorado and Nebraska. So this must be CC. Good evening, CC.
Yeah. Good evening, Kranky. Let's have a couple of questions because I think with the imminent arrival of Mason Greenwood in the team, right?
It's not imminent. It's not imminent or imminent yet.
Listen, Kranky,
I'm just telling you. Before people, let me just say this. I just told CC this, right? It's not imminent or eminent yet. That's all I'll say about that. So keep going.
But whatever they might do up a peak, they need to move there and faster. But anyway, because October the 10th is fast arriving.
He's not going to be here for October.
Yeah, I don't figure that, but I think if they could move there and faster, October the 10th could be on the cards. But all right, so like if a Mason Greenwood, all right, I don't want to say if, I'm positive. When a Mason Greenwood comes in the team, and if a Reece Nelson, because I think that's a possibility too, maybe even now when, but put it say we get Mason Greenwood and Reece Nelson in the team, right?
Yeah.
Do you see Leon Bailey coming back in the team and fighting for a starting position?
Good question. Fighting, I think the coach is going to start him. There are certain players who are going to start.
Because the thing is,
did I tell you guys yesterday the logo is going to start? I was going to say this logo from when Thursday, Wednesday, logo starting. It's a must. There's no ambiguity. It's going to start.
What's the criteria, Kranky? What's the criteria? What's the criterion you would employ in terms of a starting 11?
What's the criteria?
Criterion.
Yeah, it's not my criteria. It's the coach's criteria, right? The coach decided. Yeah. But I would say this: it's based on form. You play people based on form.
So based on form, as in which form? Club form or?
Well, the only form you have is club form.
All right. So you see, with that being said, that's why I keep telling people, like, if it is club form and Leon Bailey continues to perform at the club level, when it comes to Jamaica, he's going to be the starting player. Because even if you look at Reece Nelson, unless Reece Nelson is outperforming him in the same league, because Reece Nelson is with what now? Fulham. And that means they will be playing in the same league week in, week out, and you will get to see both of the players. So if one player plays in the similar position and is outperforming the other player, then when they come, then you decide in terms of what they do in training, and then you think about it and decide who you're putting on the field. But I think when I listen to some of the reasoning, for example, a person would say Antonio starts because Antonio plays in the Premier League, Boza plays in the Russian league, so Boza goes on the bench. And I'm saying that's not rational or logical, because if that is the case, that means Leon Bailey will always start in the team.
I think Leon Bailey will most likely start the team a lot of times.
No, I think all right.
If his form is not, look, here's the thing. So there's a number of factors people utilize when they're making decisions, right? Club form is the main one, but coaches have to also think about politics, and people don't realize that politics is in sports, and politics is in club team, and politics is in national team. And not saying that these players are not good players; they're good players, but the differentiator may be the politics. So if Reece Nelson come, if Mason Greenwood come, so then you have 4 wingers for 2 positions. The coach may get creative and put one of them in the 10 when they don't belong in the 10. Now, Palmer is making a case to be the 10. And if Palmer keeps making the case and lock the 10 down, then you have 3 slots for about 6 players. Because Mason Greenwood can play center forward. I'm not happy with my center forward play. Let me say that again, people.
Yeah,
I am not happy with my center forward play. I think we should go try to get Cameron Archer. I think we should think about when Mason comes, if Bailey plays on the right and Gray on the left, Mason in the middle. Yeah, they're small, but they're dynamic. And Mason can put the ball in the net. That doesn't mean Mason doesn't miss goal, but Mason shoots hard, he shoots to the right, he shoots low, and he's very accurate. My center forwards don't know where the goal is. Yeah.
Yeah, so with that being said, Kranky, I believe as I said, if Mason comes, right, and I have Reece, I would look at it carefully and think start Mason at centre forward, and one of those centre forward drop out of the team, because right now the centre forward plays poor. And if you're not putting the ball in the back of the net, as a matter of fact, not even say putting the ball in the back of the net only, getting the football on target, making the goalkeeper work, or making that skinny white octopus work. None of that was working yesterday for us. We never worked the goalkeeper in terms of the goalkeeper was working, but in terms of other opportunities, clear-cut opportunities, we weren't putting it away, and the centre forward play is just poor. So I believe, like, when those players come in, the coach have a decision.
So I'm going to correct you there. The centre forward play isn't poor. The centre forward conversion is poor. We got to differentiate the two. So I could be a good holder player like Antonio. I could be, even though his link-up play wasn't brilliant yesterday, I could be laying the ball off to my wingers and my 10 and my 8. I could be running the channel really well. I could be pressuring the defense in the press, but I'm not putting the ball in the net, so I'm not converting, right? That's a problem. We need to put the ball in the goal, and we need forwards who can differentiate themselves. Antonio may score brilliant goals. He doesn't score frequent goals. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference between me shooting a 40-yard screamer and scoring 1 in 5, and I think right now he's 1 in 5 because 4 in 18, versus me, have tapping here, tapping there. That head I got yesterday, that head has to hit the target.
We need somebody who has scoring.
The goalkeeper made about 7 saves, Warren. Huh? Go ahead.
We need somebody who has scoring at every window, Kranky. Every single window that comes,
right,
we have somebody that's scoring. We need somebody on the score sheet. Every window, like centre forward, should be able, because we have like 2 games in every window. So if you can convert 1 per, like we need a Dean Burton, basically, like one of the, but I'm just thinking we need somebody that can convert in every window. Right. And when we're doing that, then it increases our opportunities, our chances of winning. But that's all I have to say, because I know the program is short.
All right. Appreciate it, CC. Yeah, appreciate the call.
Yeah,
man.
No
Thanks.
problem.
Yeah, people. No, we look, it's always going to be very difficult when you get chances not to put them away. And from what I'm hearing from people that the players were disrespectful, the fans were disrespecting the players, that's not call for people. You can criticize the players for not scoring goals or for making bad plays, but you shouldn't be disrespecting them because you don't like to be disrespected either. If you don't like disrespect, don't give out disrespect, right? That doesn't make sense to me. Players should not be disrespected. Yes, we're disappointed when we don't win. Yes, we're disappointed when players don't play well, but they played. I'm very careful with my words when it comes to what we played yesterday. We played well yesterday, all being equal, but we had an inferior opponent. They had 10 men, and frankly, they should be blasted out of the park in the first half. I ain't saying nothing about Antonio, Claudine. I just said we need a center forward who can score goals. Hey, Claudine, defend his stats, Claudine. I think it's 4 in 18. You defend those stats, Claudine. playing against sometimes not the best teams, not scoring one goal in the Gold Cup. You defend those stats, Claudine, because here's what we do, people. Sometimes we have people with pedigree and they have reputation and they have done well and they may be doing well at the club level. We're not calling them out. We call out selectively. We don't call them out when they're not doing well. We believe that they're undroppable. Nobody's undroppable when it comes to football, unless your name Messi or Ronaldo. Right? You're not undroppable. If you're not playing well and there's alternative, people are going to pursue those alternative. So should Antonio be dropped? I don't know. That's the coach's decision, but I've been saying this for a little while now. I'm not impressed. I know people love the energy and the running and all that, and that's part of football. But really, where's the goal? You're center forward. As I said, I was on JD's program this morning. The primary job of a defender, of a goalkeeper, is to stop the ball from going in the net. On the opposite end, the primary job of the forward is put the ball in the you-know-what goal. Now, Messi can't be dropped. Because Messi not only score goals and do things, he brings in tickets. People come to see Messi play. They ain't come to see the rest of the people play, especially the MLS. Messi can't be dropped. The time Messi get dropped is when he decided to stop playing. He ain't getting dropped. Ronaldo can't get dropped because Ronaldo got dropped at Man U. But Messi don't get dropped, people. Messi don't get dropped. You don't drop the GOAT. You do not drop the GOAT. So yeah, I don't think Messi get dropped. Yeah, RJ, we should have won the game, no doubt. People hit the like button now. It's Saturday now. Just do it for one day. Don't let me be miserable. Just do it for one day. I know it's very hard for you to do. By the way, if you have not subscribed yet, people, please subscribe. You notice my thumbnail has a subscription on there, a like on there. That's why I put it on the thumbnail. So if you come into the chat, when you see the prompt, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. Nah, I wouldn't blame the coach for anything, LJ. Why would you blame the coach? The coach is not playing. So Leslie says Shamar's goes offside. You know what? I've been getting miscommunication on this. I was doing a stream. I said he was offside. Someone said no, he wasn't. And then now you're saying he was offside. So I don't. Let me just put that up from Leslie. I don't know then, Leslie, because some are saying it was offside. Some say it wasn't. I don't know. People, and I know Travis was there. Hey, Travis was because offside. Well, offside or not, he still missed the. He still got kicked over the bar. But if it was offside, it doesn't count. No, I was told when I first did the stream last night, I thought it was offside, right? Because you look at the play, but then people said he wasn't deemed offside by the linesman. So Travis is saying it was a good watch. Here's the thing, Travis. I've been saying Travis. People don't seem to realize it's Travis. So Travis, here's the thing, Travis. If you went to the game, we scored one goal, but it was awful football. What did you prefer? The draw with good football or the awful football with one love win? Let me know. Or is it that, you know what? People just want both. They don't want to take no either side, no either. They just want both. They want good football and they want to win, which we all want. But Travis, do you see the draw being the one love with a long ball nonsense that we do, or the draw with really good football entertainment? Which one do you prefer? Because here's the difference between the two. Throughout the entire game from start to finish, you just feel it was a matter of time before we score and win, right? Sometimes when we play, you don't feel. When we play Dominican Republic, even though we won, I didn't feel that way. I thought we were going to probably lose or draw that game. No, Claudine, we all want both, Claudine. But the point I'm trying to make is this, is that it's almost as if it's just as important to play good football and win or draw versus playing bad football but winning. Because people got to understand, you know, pretty draw than an ugly game. I don't know. I mean, you want to win, but you don't want to be bored out of your skin. I mean, even why go to the game? That's why people don't want to go to the game. I want to go to the game and see no boring game. You want to go there and watch some good football and enjoy yourself. I think that's important. So I would hope that people enjoy the game. So Travis, do you think people who went to the game were discouraged about the performance? Not the performance, but the lack of scoring, and that may preclude them from wanting to go back to games? Or you think, you know what, they were encouraged by the performance? Let me know. You think they were encouraged by the performance or discouraged by the performance? Did Antonio play well? Yeah, he played relatively well, but he missed a couple chances. He actually was the one who created the penalty because he had the defender trying to play him tight, and he rolled him and got a red card on the defender. It wasn't in the box, but again, he's not scoring. You know how many games he's played and don't scoring? It's frustrating. The center forward. My center forward needs to put the ball in the net. That's why they center forward. So I would hope that look, Claudine, if his form don't improve, I'm willing to change him, Claudine. I don't care what anybody says. If Antonio's form doesn't improve, if I'm a coach and I want to win, my center forward is not scoring. Unless my friend forward name is Giroud, who's a brilliant link-up player, he's gonna be on my bench and play a World Cup of France and didn't score, but he's a brilliant link-up player. He's gonna have assists, gonna set people up. You gotta be on the bench. Travis is saying, Kranky, some were encouraged by the performance, but some were upset by the missed chances. See, but the theme is this: at least they were encouraged, but at least there, Travis, they were discouraged by the missed chances, yes, but at least we got chances, right? At least we got chances, which is really, really good. We got chances, and if we put our chances away, it could have been 4, 5, or 6. Yeah. People come to enjoy sports entertainment. They ain't come there just to watch some drag. They could go watch them paint their walls for that. Yes, the top. No, it wasn't pretty. He said. I thought he said an ugly loss is better than a pretty win. Wasn't that it, people? An ugly loss is better than a pretty win. It was something like that. Something like that. Something of that nature. Tapa has his colloquies and his saying, frankly. So who knows? Someone said the sad fact is Antonio was the better center forward for us yesterday. Well, we had 2 center forwards, right? So we had Antonio there, and then we brought on Nicholson. And Nicholson, since the Canada game, he hasn't had the best run of form for the national team. When he scored 2, because when he played in the Copa, I just think he weren't at the races. See, hey, Claudia, he's not the captain. The captain is Blake. I know what you're saying about Captain Jamaica, but Blake is Captain Jamaica. He's the captain for Jamaica. Yeah, no, I think the coach basically said that he basically said he was going to play low the day before in the pre-game press conference. He basically said he was going to play low, right, on the right, which he did. And Lowe didn't make the best of the opportunity. It's kind of funny when your coach basically says you have to make the best of the opportunities that you're getting. You're a good player, I know you, and then you go out and it's not that he played bad, but he missed a couple really good chances. Really, really good chances. Come people, hit the like button. My like should be more than people in the chat. So I'll just say, if Bailey was there, we would have won the game. We had nobody that looked threatening on the ball. We needed like Bernard Bailey. I call this it's called out of sight. When somebody is somehow people. Here's the thing: we get missed so much when we're not there, and then when you're there, it's just like, oh. This view by Al J that if Bailey and Whisper were there, we would have won is laughable. Bailey has scored 5 goals in 30 games for Jamaica, and 1 was a penalty. So he's 4 in 30 from 29 from open play. Well, no, he's 4 for 30 from open play. That is 1 in 7 from open play, 7.5 from open play. Really? And you think he was going to be scoring if he was there yesterday? Wow. I don't know how we get there, people. I know we ever have these conclusions. And Whisper is injured, and Whisper can't play in the football. I don't know. Somehow when players are missing, all of a sudden they get to be great players and great producers, and we conflate and confuse the player's performance with his club team, with his national team. If he was there yesterday, could he have made a difference? Yeah, he could have. But it could be the same as what happened yesterday. How much games Jamaica was on the field? Answer that, Kranky. And since Bailey's not playing, how much goals Gray scored? Yeah. So I don't check those stats. because I watch him play. I watch him play up close and personal, and I watch him play remotely through whatever medium I utilize. Bailey does really well for Aston Villa. Bailey's ordinary for Jamaica. You're saying how much did he win? How much goals did he score, LJ? How many assists did he have that changed the game? He has 5 goals in 30 games. You can't tell me one game. Tell me one game he has played for Jamaica. He's been outstanding. I don't want to make this a Bailey conversation, people, because the view is that Kranky is anti-Bailey. I am anti-losing. I'm anti-poor performance. I'm not anti-any player. And it'd be stupid of me to be anti-player. But I asked you the question, RJ. Tell me one game he played where he was outstanding. Gold Cup, Nations League, any competition. You tell me, because I may not be thinking friendlies. Any game he played that he's outstanding player, best player in the team. Here we come with the great players play better with great players. Great players play better with great players, yes. They also play well without great players. And we can draw that. And don't make the case that, it's the Jamaica team and Aston Villa. That's nonsense. Nonsense. To me, that's nonsense. We have had players who play well. Pinot come here and play well. Right? You see players come here and play. Amar Bell come here and play well. Players come here and play well. So I don't know why we're saying that. Yeah, but here are the people. So when we see what happened when Mason Greenwood come to see if he's that poor. When he comes and he plays, which maybe sometime next year. I'm sorry. I'm going to laugh at this. That's an interesting comment. Do I think Bailey can improve? Yeah, I think so. I think he can improve the team if he plays better. I don't think he has played well for the team. What for the reason? What do you mean, RR? What am I doing with JFF to get strike? JFF said they're not talking to the YouTubers, so it doesn't matter. They ain't going to talk to me anymore. But why do you say I get strike with JFF? I'm not saying anything about JFF. This is not a JFF discussion. And even if I was R&R, I don't get concerned about those things. The only striker I'm concerned about is YouTube. If YouTube strike me, that's a good thing because then I have a platform. I'm not concerned about a strike from anybody else. Not my concern. Claudine says, Bailey in a Jamaica jersey makes no difference until he shows up. I don't want to hear it. Keep your okay, Claudine. Keep it good, Claudine. Keep it clean. Keep it good. Bailey's miss against Chelsea national team was the worst than against Chelsea. It's not Chelsea. Against Canada, you mean, was worse than Antonio Shamar. Yes, look, I still have those registered in my brain, those misses against Canada. The one at the far post, corner come over when he hit the upright. The one on the left when he passed the keep. He got 3 clear-cut chances in that game. And people just have very short memories. Is he a good player? Yeah, but would he be material difference to the team? I don't know. He played in Copa with the team, didn't he? Not in Copa, he played in Gold Cup with the team. Was he an outstanding player? I thought Gray was the one who made team in the tournament. Hey, for that person who's asking that question, where is he? I'm asking you a question. Hey, LJ, answer me this question, LJ. Has Bailey ever gotten a man of the match in any game? And has he ever been on any CONCACAF team at the tournament? Please answer me that. The harsh criticism on the players. No, I haven't criticized. I haven't been harsh on any player. I'm just calling like I see it. I said Anthony needs to start scoring goals. Otherwise, we have to think about replacement. My comments on Bailey haven't changed over the years. Which other player have I criticized today? I've been the one getting beaten for having Lowe in the team and for saying things about Lowe. And the thing about Lowe, I've said, Lowe needs to stop making long passes because less than 50% is not good. That's not debatable. Damien, stop making those long passes. Pass the ball to Pinnock, make him make the pass because you're not getting to your destination with the pass. It's a turnover. 5 of 11. And if I go to Damien's stats year after year after year, it's the same thing. It's long passing is not good enough. Claudine. No, Claudine, remember you? Hey, Claudine. I keep telling you this, Claudine. If you hear me say something, it's like Bible, Claudine. Okay, remember that. It's like Bible. Because I'm not talking unless I do my due diligence and research, Claudine. Did I tell you about what's his name? Amari. Did I tell you about Amari, Claudine? What happened? Yes, Palmer was very good last night. Very, very good. Very, very good, actually. He played like how a typical Jamaican used to play way back when, but with a lot of composure. He was very, very good. Yep. Wingers usually prolific goal scorers. That was historical football. Wingers nowadays are prolific goal scorers. Saka, Palmer, Salah. I could name them. Nowadays, it's changed. It's not like before, where you had Ryan Giggs play a ton of game and Ryan Giggs like 1 in 5. Even Thierry Henry, when he played for Arsenal, drifted out to the left a lot of times. And he was a traditional winger playing with Bergkamp in the middle. So, no, things have changed about winger being goal scorers. Last year, he scored pretty well for his club team. But when it comes to Jamaica, I don't know. They must be all behind him. Who am I replacing with Conrad? I'm not replacing anybody. All I'm saying I think we should go do recruiting. Hey, coach, go do your recruiting. Stop talking about people that want to come to Jamaica because them under 22. Go recruit everybody. Let them tell you no first. You know what? We shouldn't be asking the coach to recruit anybody. We should go recruit them. I use we loosely. And then what happens is we should go recruit them and then let the coach make the decision. RJ, we understand it's your views and not fighting for your views. Is that what you believe? That's what you believe. It's what you believe? And it could be the case. But he hasn't done anything to warrant all the accolades he's getting. No, he pulled out, just like a bunch of the players pulled out, Claudine. He didn't pull out because he could come for us, Claudine. I told you he was coming, and when he said he wasn't coming, he went to England under 21. And then he and about 3 of them pulled out, went back to their club team. Okay? So I've been following that, Claudine. I told you he wasn't coming for us. Doesn't mean he will never come. But right now, so it is. And Lee Carswell is capping them. You see what he did today? He capped Gomez today. He capped Gibbs White today. So they're not playing for Jamaica. Not Gomez, but Gibbs White. His cap, he's over. He got his cap today. Bring him on for Grealish late in the game. Give him about 15 minutes, juice him. Then he's going to sit him down and call him for a while. Going to cap all of them. And we here complaining about who can play for us, for we cap them ourselves. For the JFF go out and cap these people, they're complaining about who come and who doesn't come. Nah, it's not Bandula, Eagle Republic. There's a story behind everything. Just remember that. He's not Bandula. There are things that happen which, if I was in his seat, I may have done the same thing. It's not Bandula, people. Some things are not what they appear to be. That's all I'll say about that. Some things are not what they appear to be. So whatever players you think were Bandulu, and there were a couple of them, they're not Bandulu. They're bless up float management. They're not Bandulu people. There are things that happen which result in situation. Yes. That's another story, Juna. Lord, the story them can't add up, you see. Yeah. There's another story right there. There are a number of players, actually. There are a lot of players out there. We got to figure out which ones we believe can fit into the team and then try to bring them in. No favor marks. There's no extra count. Greenwood may decide not to play for Jamaica now, but he will not play for England. That much we know. No, Claudine, I know the story, Claudine. I know the story. And maybe I'm not sure if we both have the same story, but I know the story. You don't know that for sure, LJ. So, LJ, since you know this, where are Reese's papers? Since you know all this, LJ, tell us where Reese's papers are. He just went to Fulham. He's going to be playing with Smith Rowe and Iwobi from Arsenal. Tell us where his papers are. Since you say you know this. I think he got called in one of the later windows and he didn't come, actually. But before, I don't want to get into the details, DJ, but there are a lot of things that happen behind the scenes which shouldn't have happened. At Pika with Greenwood. Okay. Well, RJ, you may know more than I do. You may know more than I do. So where are Greenwood's papers, RJ? Are they going through the process now? Since you have all this information, are they going through the process now? And how far are they? Have they been in for a long time? And when will they come out? Because that thing can go into a hole and come back out, CC, I don't send links, CC. CC, you don't realize it, CC. I don't send links. I have once in a while invitation, CC. I'm a little bit different. Yes, I did see Algrimson today. He got rocked in the first half. People, here's the question, people. I have no idea why Hugginson took that team. Like, that team have half the chance Jamaica have gone to the World Cup. I'm trying to figure this out, people. Something happened. Now, don't say Kranky's trying to create some show, but something must have happened, people, for him to just get up and pack his bag and say, you know what, I can't be here. It must have been so toxic for him. I'm not saying it's the JFF, Whatever it is, whether it's the Jamaica Island set, whether it's the Sunshine, whether it's, I don't know what it is, but for you to go coach an Ireland team, which is devoid of talent, to be able to make the World Cup, he has no chance in hell, in my view, to make the World Cup with Ireland. None. And he gave that up. Now, he did say Ireland and Iceland have quite a bit in common between the people. The only common I think they have between the two is they're both populated by Caucasians. That's the only commonality between Iceland and Ireland. I have no idea about the commonality he was talking about. And he's also what we call in Jamaica a general, actually. He's a three-card man. I shouldn't use that term, and I got beaten for that term. So we're disrespecting some people with that term. So maybe I shouldn't use that term. But I'm trying to figure out why he left Jamaica, because Ireland ain't going nowhere. They're not going anywhere. They're not a good team. So if that's the case, and Jamaica is in a region where they have a good chance of making it, why he just gave up? I don't know. Wayne, what do you? Wait. No, I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to do any favoritism, Wayne. So which message have I missed, Wayne? Which message have I missed? Some things are easy to see, like a super. Okay, let me just say before, I'm not asking for super chat, people. I'm telling you, when somebody have a super chat, you find an obligation is to read it and send it. For the other message, you're going through the messages, and sometimes you may miss something. Doesn't mean you can read all of them, And I don't. I'm getting less and less able to read this thing. I'm not trying to do it just for favorites, Wayne. Good call out though, but I'm not doing it for favorites. I'm just trying to think of. CC saying send the link. I'm saying CC's not. Hey, people, CC didn't hear me. Tell him what I just said, people. Okay, he didn't hear me. Somebody said the DJ Bishop Escobar was rocking the music before the game at halftime, then at the end of the game. Good vibes. Well, hey, you know what, Travis? I love that. I love that, Travis, that the vibe in the stadium was good. And I'm going to come to Jamaica next year when Green will come. So I didn't say October, right? I'll be there next year when he comes. Wherever his first game is, I got to be there. So I hope his first game is in Jamaica. I hope his first game in Jamaica, because when he comes, I'm definitely going to be in the stadium. So I just didn't want to coach Jamaica with just a quick grab. He looked a little bit lost today. I was watching the first half when they had a water break or something. No, when I think somebody got injured, the captain, the right back, got injured. And I was smiling, saying he just looks a little bit lost out there. He's going to get beaten. You think he got beaten in Jamaica? Okay, people, on the complain about YouTubers beat people. On the complain about the press beat JFF. Hey, JFF and fans and those and all of you, he lost his first game. You can get some allowance because it's England. You go read the comments about him. Right? You go, because he played low block football today. He wasn't attacking football. He played low block football. They tried to counter, and they had a couple once in a while, some semblance of a chance. But you go read the comments about him, and let's see what happens after 2 or 3 games. They lose 2 or 3 in a row. Let's see how he gets blasted. Let's see how he gets blasted, which he will. I'll just say, don't you think the Brackham staff coach, when was his last appointment compared to now? No, he hasn't coached any team in a while, right? His last job was a while ago. I forgot what it was. I had his history. he coached a lot of teams, right? He's been doing this for over 30 years, right? He coached Middlesbrough, Derby, Newcastle 20 twice, Wolfsburg, England. He's coached a lot of teams, actually. And he'd been at Man U when Ferguson was there in the early days. His last coaching stint was the one there, but I don't remember when his last head coaching stint was. It's been a while ago. But he had Ten Hag at 20, and Ten Hag must respect him. That's why he brought him in. I don't think the coach was the problem yesterday. One would say, I thought we played quiet, but I thought the coach brought a lot of basic things that were missing on the Grim. I don't know what he brought that was missing on the Grim. I mean, I don't know what Grim had. I don't know what Grim had. Grim played kick and hold football. Grim played my best view yesterday, and the thing that I was most pleased about when I saw the start of the lineup was a 4-3-3. I don't want to play no 4-4-2. I don't want two Titanics up front. One can't score and one look like he can't run anymore. I don't want that. I want my team to spread out. I want wingers out there with my center forward. I want a real 10 playmaker center forward who's also going to provide space in the midfield and not have us have two midfielders when we play 4-4-2. 4-4-2. I don't like that. So I was glad we saw 4-3-3. And it almost worked. The big test is Tuesday, right? The real test is Tuesday. So one would say, if you play the way Grim does, you would be gone quick if you're not winning. No, they don't. When you win, everything is good, because management loves it. Fans may not be happy with football, but think about this. You hear Spurs fans just saying all the time, because they don't win anything, they want good football. They will take 1 year of sacrifice of winning, but after that, they want real football. They don't want the nonsense. Right? They don't want the nonsense. They want good football. Because who want to go, and you want to be entertained. You can pay your money to go to the game, and it's boring. Who wants that? I don't think Honduras will beat us, actually. I'll give my prediction tomorrow on Monday. I'm doing a pregame show Monday. But I'm not predicting Honduras to beat us. No, they look good against Trinidad, but we're not Trinidad. Jamaica is not Trinidad, people. We have a much better team than Trinidad. And I think for Trinidad, I don't think Andre's son played for Trinidad yesterday, actually. No, he didn't. He plays for Atlanta in the MLS. Trinidad doesn't have a lot of players playing at a high level, Trinidad have 5 players who play in the top 30 leagues in the world. They don't have a lot of players who are prominent who are out there playing in professional leagues. So they're a very gritty team. They play hard. A couple of games that they play against United States, they're organized, but they're not a very good team. So one would say, yes, Tuesday will show us where we are. We can beat Honduras. They're okay, but have weaknesses. Yeah, I mean, they scored some good goals yesterday, but I say this, people. Everybody look good until they get punched. They look good until they start getting attacked, and then they have to play different. You can't overcommit when somebody is as good as you are. You got to be balanced. You got to be in the game 24/7. Trinidad wasn't in the game for the entire game. And the field looked good too. So the better the field is, the better it's going to be for the players who, a lot of them play overseas, actually. Yeah, I expect him back in October, actually. No, I didn't see that game, actually. No, I didn't see that, actually. Well, they put two people. Look, in any football game, if 2 people are marking one person, then somebody's open. All right? Somebody's open. So if 2 people are marking Antonio, I just think Antonio is not a prolific goal scorer. It's too late in his career to be that. He's a good player, but he's not a prolific goal scorer. Yeah, Canada's playing good football, actually. Canada, I didn't see the Canada-US game, but Canada's playing good football. Really good football. They look good in the Copa. I mean, they're overmatched against the Argentinas of the world, but they look good in the Copa. Yeah, but look, I think Grimm probably did the right thing for Ireland against England, because if they played expansive football, they'd be getting a walloping. And frankly, they were a better team in the second half. I know what happened to England in the second half, but they were probably a better team in the second half, actually. Why not? Why not start him? If he gets a red, then you play Bernard, right? They're interchangeable. They're interchangeable. So the good thing about the middle of our defense, we have backup. Lowe, Bernard, Hector, Pinnock, Lati, they can all play in the middle of the park. So we're not in a situation where we're starved for defensive players. We're starved out wide for quality. What do you guys thought about Campbell when he came on? Let me hear you guys' view on this. What are your views on Campbell when he came on? So Claudine, we'll link up then, Claudine. Well, no, Claudine, I'll probably try to get a press pass. I probably not be in your section. I'm just kidding. Claudine, we link up. We link up. If we go to Jamaica, we'll definitely link up. If you go to Jamaica, watch Greenwood. Because I hate flying people. I'm supposed to go to Atlanta next week, and I'm struggling. I looked into driving. I was like, I can't do the drive anymore. That 14 hours is killing me. Then I looked into the train, and they want $1,000 for a private car. And I'm like, I'm struggling. And I want to fly. And flight is just 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm like, and the train is like, what, 18 hours? And I'm still thinking about taking the train. I just don't like to fly. But I'll probably make the sacrifice to go to Jamaica. Can you so biased? What I biased the low with what are you talking about, Claudine? People hit the like button. Claudine, what are you talking about with low? Issa says Campbell looked wild, but he did something that others weren't doing. That is take a touch and move into space. Yeah, good move that the ball. Other players just stood there. Yeah, I thought the ball was controlling him sometimes. They're just as mean. I'm not trying to be facetious. I thought the ball was controlling him sometimes. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Umzo. I thought the ball was controlling him. He's trying to do so much so quickly. And I just thought, get into the game. I know it's a short period of time, but don't try to overdo it. Don't overdo it. But yeah, I didn't think he was. But he didn't have a lot of time. It's hard to judge somebody. When you come on the field and you feel like you do everything to prove yourself, and you know that your window is small, it's tough. It's tough. So I'm not going to criticize him, but I thought he probably should have given Dixon a bit more time than he gave him, actually. Because Dixon is very versatile. He can play out wide. So I thought Ireland got the job because triple option. There were better coaches wanted the job. It could have been, but he got a job a long time ago. He got a job from, they interviewed him last November. He got a job from March. He waited until, so they waited for him though, BM, because they waited until he told them he ain't leaving before trying to get his bonus money for Copa. He was trying to maximize his payout across the board. Nation League money, Copa money, then take Ireland money. Didn't work out that way though, because we didn't progress the second round in Copa. So he may have gotten some bonus to get there, but didn't get it subsequently. Brian said Campbell was not up to standard. Wow. Wow, people are pretty. Wow. I guess there are others who believe that Campbell wasn't where he should have been. I thought he was trying to do too much too quickly. Apart from Casey, who plays amazing. So, okay, so let me give you the stats. The stats may not tell you everything. So look at what's on the board, people, in terms of the ratings, right? I don't know why this thing doesn't spread out. Look at the ratings of the people on the board, and you can see. So let's start with the goalkeeper. Andre Blake was 6.8, but he was 6.8 because he had to make no saves. So forget about Andre. Everybody else have a chance to be graded. Amari Bell got 7.5. Thought he played well enough. DeMar Gray got 7.5. I didn't think he was in the game enough, to be honest. Ethan got 7.8. And Ethan was 11 of 13 for long passes, and his passing rate was about 90%. He had a good game. Damian Lowe was 7.1. He was let down by his long passing. He was what? 5 of 11 long balls, so he missed 6. His passing accuracy was about 87%. So if he didn't get those long balls, he would have been same as Pinnock. And he made some good passes between the line, a few of them between the lines from deep, which were penetrative. So I thought he played well also. Dexter, I thought, had an interesting game. He had the best player playing against him for the Cubans on his side. But I didn't think Dexter was a 7.1. I thought Dexter would have been a little lower, actually. I thought he struggled a few. He lost a lot of balls. He had some turnovers he shouldn't. So I don't think Dexter had a great game. I thought Joel played well. I was better than a 7.1. I'm not sure why they have no 7.1. I think the mathematical formula utilized by OptaScore to do this, to me, is needs some work. Actually, there are some things they don't capture, which are more intangible than tangible. So I don't agree with everything that they utilize in their scoring methodology. But I thought Joel played a good game. Casey was brilliant. Thought Bobby Reed does what Bobby Reed does. Yeoman's work, played well defensively, and was defense offensively. Crossing could have been better. Both he and Great Crossing could have been better, actually. Thought Jamal played decent, but his misses were eye-opening. The first one he missed was ridiculous. Meaning the ball, Antonio held the ball, tipped it to him. I'm going to use the word tip. And instead of just blasting the ball in the goal, he tried to beat two people, and the keeper blocked the ball. Debbie said the keeper made a good save. No, kick the ball in the goal. The goal is wide open. If he took that shot, it's hard for me to see not going in the goal. And then Antonio got a 7.1. Look, Antonio gives a yeoman's work. He plays hard. But Antonio don't know where the goal is. That's why me and Claudine argue. Antonio doesn't know where the goal is. Doesn't know where the goal is. Yeah, well, I don't think offense is his thing. He's a workhorse. Hutchinson. What's the story with Hutchinson, Claudine? Because you say you have some inside information. What's the story? Langsley Blake, your Sabbath is over. How you doing? Your Sabbath is over. So you're free. So do you get to speak during Sabbath, Langsley, or Sabbath is silent? I don't know. I don't know how Sabbath works, actually. What is Flo talking about? What are you talking about, Flo? People, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. She's always said Dix needs to be in the weight room. He's a kid, Claudine. He'll get put on weight eventually. He'll put on weight. He'll be okay. You just need to get fit. We don't know the story with Hutchinson, people. We know the story, but we don't know the story. Put it that way. That story kept having twists and turns, actually. So we'll see what happens with him at some point. He was called to England on 21. I'm not sure if he has an injury, but he went back to his club with a few more players. A number of players went back to their club, actually. Sometimes people have nagging injuries they want to get over, and they want to take some time off and recover. I did see where Connor Boyce Clark got called back to the England to his club, Reading, and he got replaced. So Connor Boyce Clark is no longer with the team. He got called back to Reading FC as one day goalkeeper got injured. I didn't know you could call somebody back during the window when the window is not over. I guess I learned something every day. All right, that doesn't make sense to me. So he got replaced by a local goalkeeper, and I have the name. Shaquan Davis, who was there the previous time around, is now replacing Connor Boyce Clark. But he went back to Reading. He's not going to play anyway, so maybe he can get some game time if he goes back and somebody's injured. So who knows? But Connor Boyce is going back to the UK to be with Reading. So give a chance to Shaquan. But I don't think he's going to. Between Jamal and Blake, he's not going to get a game. Oh, okay. So people have learned something. Sabbath is an opportunity to worship, so it's not quiet. Singing, preaching, Bible study. Okay. Well, I hope it all went well. So what one is saying, I guess he's talking about Honduras. We can beat them, but they are only one ranking place in front of us. Not sure it's a smart choice. Risk versus reward is not the best. What are you talking about? One is that? Honduras. What's Honduras rank actually? I haven't looked that up. What's Honduras rank? And rank doesn't matter, as we saw yesterday. Isn't Cuba ranked like 167, and we are ranked 59? And we are ranked 59, and we had a team ranked over 100 places below us. Came away with a draw with 10 men the entire second half. Not a good look. When Clancy said, Clanky, I heard something that you're not saying. Why do you think I'm going to say more? I'm done or done. I don't know, Claudine. I'm just curious what you know. You may know much more than me. Just curious about what you know. Yeah, we have spoken about Grimmy already. Grimmy played today. His team lost 2-0. They're better in the second half than the first half. I have bets on how long Grimmy's going to last with Ireland. I don't think he's making the World Cup. I don't think he'll complete World Cup qualification. I think after Nations League, they're going to struggle, and he's going to struggle. They're going to struggle, and he's going to struggle. Grimmy, I have no idea why Grimmy left Jamaica. Seriously. You can go through all the different rationale, but I just don't understand why he left Jamaica. Given the probability of getting to the World Cup, a possibility, I just think for him, it just came so bad. He just wanted to get away. So it's got to be either, it could be a number of different things. I don't think it was the players. I have no idea what it is. I don't think we'll ever get the right story, the true story, actually, as to why he left, ever. But hey, Grimmy is history. So I'm just saying, when you say it like that, it sounds crazy. Over 100. Yeah, they're 167, is my understanding, and we are 59. So they're 108 place below us. I think Ireland, what's Ireland rank? I think England is in the top 10. I thought England was 4 at one point. Ireland's probably about in the 50s too, so pretty similar. Yeah, Grimmy tried to use us, and he did. Because when they talked about Grimmy's resume, Jamaica was half of his resume. I think the other half was, maybe a quarter was his dentistry as a football person. But no, Grimmy used us, actually. Unfortunate, but it happens. But look, McLaren may be what we need to get to where we need to get to. I was pleased with the setup yesterday. And I think, as he said, he can't make material changes right away. Trying to work through some of the things that we have done historically or continuing to do, and him trying to impose. The only thing I haven't heard him talk about is a style of play, which I find interesting. I think it's hard to put a style of play in play, but he's got to think about doing something, right? So I don't know what that entails. Right, people don't have enough Grimmy conversation today. So the Grimmy one was going to lead no matter what we're going to stalk him for the rest of our life. Yes, we are stalkers, Spain Town General. Because we've been left at the altar. When you have a your groom, your bride left you at the altar. We've been left at the altar by Grimmy. Grimmy just dump us and go to Ireland and take our money too. Of course it wasn't, Claudine. Nothing was good about that breakup. That's one of those breakup where the partner says, oh yes, we ended the amicable term, and there's nothing amicable about it. That's a public consumption. No, it was a bad breakup. Yeah, I like the 4-3-3 he played, and I like how we played, but disappointing outcome. We have to score goals. No, Claudine, JFF breakup with Grimmy wasn't peaceful at all. It was disastrous, was not good, did not work out well. No, look, I think Grimmy did some good things defensively, right? So Grimmy put that defensive foundation down which work well for the team and which the players appreciate, I think. Now we got to get the team to also balance that with good offense. Yeah, Bolt was at the game. Maybe he should go out there and play forward. You say he want to play center forward. I'm a Man U fan. And he had aspiration to be a footballer. I saw Bolt play football. I was like, interesting. I don't know who told him that he's a big time footballer. Yeah, track athlete, Bolt. Another runner. Well, RJ into this big Bailey thing. RJ, you know what? The man has his fans. You got to say that much. Has his fans. He has his fans, and they're loyal. No matter what he says or what he does, they are loyal. They love him to death, and it's good to have fans who appreciate you and support you and laud you and give you flowers. So good luck for him. But I think people go back to the stadium. If we beat Honduras, in Honduras, they go back to the stadium. And if we don't, if it's a tie game, if they lose, it's going to be a difficult situation. But if it's a tie game or we win, they go back to the stadium. I think people not giving 876 any credit for the stadium, But 876 had some nice pictures, some nice advertisement to try to bring family. They made them like a family-oriented type thing, trying to bring families to the stadium. So, yeah. Colorado can't play defense. They're awful. Leon Bailey's not homegrown. Leon Bailey left Jamaica when he was 13. Was homegrown about 13, going to Europe. Yeah, you guys may think he's homegrown. He's not homegrown. You're homegrown in England like Martinelli if you go there when you're 19, 18, right? He's not homegrown. You're not homegrown. If you leave home at 13, really? You want to take credit for that, RJ? He's born in Jamaica. We all appreciate that, but he ain't homegrown. I think we're confusing that term. He's not homegrown. I don't agree with them, Nitro. I disagree with Antonio. I disagree with Palmer. Maybe for Palmer, because he hasn't played a lot before, but I don't agree with that. I think sometimes people not thinking about the quality of the opponent as a way of determining how well you play. So if Cuba is poorly ranked, down to 10 men, playing what we used to call box and forward, which is defense against forwards, and you say you play well, I don't know what that means. I thought we had better games in the Gold Cup, frankly. I thought our Trinidad game in the Gold Cup was better. I thought we had some better games before. I don't necessarily buy that I'm not in agreement that this is our best game we have played. Yes, possession stats wise, it may be, but the best game you play cannot just be how you pass the ball, how you move the ball. The best game you play is a combination of different factors, including winning, including scoring, right? Including creating opportunities and taking them. That's part of that whole concept about best game I've played. So the best game is not just because I have a lot of the ball and I play the ball around. All the factors informs the best game. Yeah, Claudine, but I'm just saying, Claudine, the criteria we're using to say best game without thinking about goals as part of that equation is not rational. Why, Owen, you just learn to spell the words? You just type them out? RJ, has Bailey ever scored 2 goals in a game? RJ, you tell me. And people, I stay away from the Bailey conversation, right? I do try. Wait, you ever hear that show? What was it? What was it, Al Pacino? Say I go back out and you're pulling me back in. Why you guys try to pull me back into the Bailey conversation? I'm going to ask you guys a question. Have you ever seen me have a thumbnail with Bailey and a toxic boss on it? And I know those thumbnail draw views. Have you ever seen me having those thumbnails? You guys think about it. Right? I know they draw views. They put them name out there and they draw 2,000 views right away. You don't even have to work on it. You ever see me put those thumbnail up? I'm trying to stay out of the conversation. It's because I don't think it warrants the conversation it gets. You know, see me put Bailey here, a toxic boss, on my thumbnail. So I want to stay away from the conversation. No, they can't. Look, if you're not getting pressed, you can pass the ball, right? If you're not getting pressed, when you're getting pressed, it's with everybody, people, just not Jamaica. If you're not getting pressed and you have time on the ball, they're good footballers. But we getting pressed, pressure bust pipe. Okay. All right, LJ. I know you're a disciple, so we'll see what happens. You like that song BM? That's part of that's part of the rhythm. Hey, see people, BM I have the rhythm. That means that the rhythm I resonate. I told you I went to the park on Sunday, last week Sunday. I'm going again this Sunday. My team is playing over 40 competition, and somebody told me that they're in their bathroom singing the song. So people like Ricardo don't like my song. There are other people who like the song Ricardo, and there's Ricardo and some other people saying I should not be doing this, but there are some people who like it, so can't complain. Yeah, but they weren't getting pressured, right? There's a difference. So, here's the thing, people. Judge Tuesday's game. Now, that may really be unfair on my part because you're playing away from home, but it's a better field. If they play at the stadium they played yesterday, better competition, that's a better game to judge. Right? That's a better game to judge as to whether you play well or not. When you're having no challenge, somebody's not pressuring you, it's hard to decide if you play well or not. All right? So we'll see what happens. Best friend Liam Bailey, born in Jamaica. Take your niece and nephew that. Tell your niece and nephew that. Okay. All right, Kevin, if you say so. He's been brilliant, Kevin. He scored 5 goals in 30 games. He has been brilliant. He's won man of the match in every game he played for Jamaica. He's been on the CONCACAF team tournament in every tournament he played for Jamaica. He's been wonderful, Kevin. Wonderful. Love him to death. Brilliant player. So I agree with you, Kevin and RJ. He's been, I think Gray made CONCACAF team tournament. He's made it every year. I think he's been man of the match in every game that he played. He was even man of the match yesterday. I'm looking, yeah? Casey had 7.9. Bailey had a 9 because he wasn't here and he would have scored all the goal. So he's been man of the match every game. He was there yesterday. In spirit, he scored. He had 9. He was a 9 yesterday, RJ and Kevin. He was a 9 yesterday. I saw that. He was a 9. I know it because I hear people say, you say he was here, we would have won. So he got a 9. In fact, I'm underscoring him. He was a 10 yesterday. This is the player who was always brilliant for Jamaica. Played 30 games, scored 30 goals, actually. He has a goal a game average, 30 games, 30 goals. He's a wonderful player, and can't wait for him to come back. If he comes back, we're going to win every single game and get to the World Cup. In fact, we may even win the World Cup with him. RJ and Kevin. It's wonderful. Kevin says, Bailey doesn't win. Play great person a lot better when Bailey facts. Yeah, okay. You and RJ think the same way, and you drinking the same Kool-Aid from the toxic boss. So, yeah, we understand. No, I like the conversation, Claudia. I like the conversation. There's nothing like people try to push your knee, and you just say, you know what? Let's go along for the ride. Let's go along for the ride. Let's take this ride on the road you want to go. I love this. And tell me about this player and how great the player is. And I went to watch a play in Florida because I heard how great he is. I go down to Florida, went down there, and I was like, what are we talking about? And then watched the player subsequent to that over and over again and said, if the player, ALJ and Kevin, if he wasn't born in Jamaica, would you have the same view? If he wasn't born in Jamaica, would you have the same view? Would you drink the same Kool-Aid? No, my picture is in no dictionary. Pictures in no dictionary. One. No, look. It's a fact. He got a 9 yesterday. And not 10, 9.5. Because RJ came in here and said he was here, would have won the game, he'd have scored 2 goals. Like he scored against Canada at home in Jamaica. I think he scored 3 against Canada. There were 3 big chances. I'm sure he scored all of them against Canada. We played the Nations League. And then the next game in Canada, he was under disguise. He had low mask on. He didn't realize it was Bailey playing on that low. They were in different positions. You people didn't see that. He was the one who dominated the midfield, Let the Canadian get afraid, gave the ball to Nichols to score. You guys didn't see those games. You guys got to go to those games. I keep telling you, fans, got to go to the game to see. You're missing Bailey. If you don't go to the game, you can't see him because he's not showing up on TV. Go to the game, you'll see him. If you guys were going to those games, you'll see him scoring those goals, making those passes, creating challenges. You guys are not watching it. I'm very disappointed in you guys. Go to the game, you'll see Bailey. Okay? Go to the game, you'll see Bailey scoring these goals. Yesterday, he was here, and you guys complained, but you didn't see him. Go to the game. You're going to see him score. He's 9.5 yesterday. All right, Tevan and Alj, I appreciate your commentary. I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate you seeing that we can't see. All right, no, I should say we. Kranky can't see. Kranky has blinkers on. I don't think Kranky liked this player. Kranky's always criticizing this player. Every time we say something, Kranky says something opposite. But look, I hope the player come back and play well for Jamaica. I actually do. I hope he comes back, and I hope he plays well and have great games. And I hope when he comes, well, if he comes back next window, Greenwood's not coming, but Green may come the other window. I think what we should be focused on now is, I think Greenwood come is, and Nelson may come. I don't know when Nelson's coming. Is we may have enough up front because some of those people up front not scoring will have competition. We just need to, we then need to make sure we also address the midfield. Good evening, or good night, I should say. Who am I speaking to?
It is good night. It is good evening, rather, not good night. If you were taught in Jamaica, it's after 9 o'clock that good night is a greeting.
When you're in Jamaica, you can't see nothing. So nobody was good night. Everything just dark.
No. Because we were trained on the British system, you can be meeting somebody for the first time and say good night after 9 p.m.
Ah, okay.
But after 6 p.m., before 9 p.m., it is good evening. That's the correct.
I know you make up these rules from, but and not every country has the same perception.
No. I don't make up these rules.
Not every country has that view though. Night, something to night is after 8 o'clock.
I cannot speak to every country, Kranky. I was
how could 8 o'clock be evening? You know, evening is night.
No. It is evening.
So what is afternoon? What is afternoon? What is afternoon?
Afternoon is between 6 and 12. Between 6 and 12, that's okay. Afternoon. So the evening begins when the sun sets. That's Bible. When the sun sets, the evening starts. No, it is the evening that is also called night. However, in the British system, they don't use evening all the way through because they're no longer Bible practicing people.
Right.
So they stop saying good evening after 9 p.m. Even though it's biblically correct to say good evening when it's dark.
What if you don't okay, let me get myself in trouble. What if you don't what if you don't believe in the Bible? What time do you
What
use?
if you don't believe in the Bible?
Yes.
You are still operating under one system or another. Maybe you're not operating on a British system, but you're operating on another system. So you would use that system in terms of your communication.
Okay. Got it. All right. How can I help you, sir? What do you like to talk about?
Yeah. I haven't watched the game yet, so I'm not calling to talk about the game. I'm going to defer that until after watching the game.
Okay.
But your title that you have up is Jamaica versus Cuba, Nations League Flash and Highlights. So
okay. You want to talk about the highlights?
Yeah. So I can't talk about the highlights. I just told you I didn't watch the game.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the clash.
Right. Okay. They didn't clash?
I'm talking about the clash.
Oh, okay.
No,
There was a
no.
DJ in the stadium, and there was a DJ in the stadium.
There was a DJ in the stadium, but you
Yes.
need more than one DJ to have a clash.
Okay, okay.
You
The
need
DJ
more
was
than
clashing
one
with the
DJ.
band. The DJ was clashing with the band. There was a band there too. The band was
Oh,
the
Jesus.
opposition.
Oh, Jesus. That don't make for no good entertainment. That
All
don't
right.
sound like no good entertainment. So my thing is, I heard you talking about not being able to adequately judge them because of the opposition that they played.
Right.
Now, the thing about the clash that I want to take up is, or has to do with, the fact that all the teams in CONCACAF, including our Caribbean neighbors and the closest of our Caribbean neighbors, are improving and developing exponentially, while we are still fiddling around, being stupid, being xenophobic, being dunce in what we are doing. And I'm not apologizing, because the definition of dunce is exactly what is being put out in the international stage. Everybody else is improving. Cuba, I heard you say we're down to 10 men for the
Yes.
entire second half,
Yes.
and we still couldn't break them down.
No, we could not. Nope.
And people were ranting vociferously that Karim Dixon should start over all the other players that are strikers that are on the team. Karim Dixon should start.
Who was saying that? I didn't see that.
You see, I watch more YouTube platforms than you do.
Oh, okay.
So without naming anybody's name, there were several YouTubers that championed the cause that Karim Dixon should start. I wonder if they're still singing that same song. And if they're singing that song still, where will we find space on Ward 21 and the Bellevue for them? For the life of me, I don't know how you can consider yourself sane. And I'm not saying you, Kranky. I'm just talking in reference to people in general. When you cut off your nose to spite your face. Every single person in Jamaica that speaks negatively about the acquisition of our best players available from the diaspora hates Jamaica as a football product. Every one of them. From the president of the JPL or whatever it's called, to the club presidents, to the administrators who continue to shuffle this foolishness across the airwaves, to the coaches, to the goons that support them. Hate Jamaica. So the Jamaican team, instead of playing with a 12th man, is playing against 13 men. Because they're playing against the opposition with their supporters and having to play against the administration. So that's 14. Yes.
Okay.
My math teachers would not be proud of me. Take me too long to get the right number.
That's okay. You're getting more seasoned.
So they're having to clash or to go up against 14 rather than having 12 play 11 even when we have home games. Having said that, though, I hope McLaren sees and know that there are people like me who will not hold him guiltless for the team's failure.
But what are we saying failure? He hasn't lost the game yet.
So you're waiting on the losing of a game. When I called in before sunset the Sabbath, I told you that I am holding McLaren responsible for the starting 11. That hasn't changed.
So you didn't like the starting 11?
The starting 11 did not match what the coach said in his press conference.
So so explain that to me. I thought it did actually exactly match.
No. Hold on. He said it is important for the team to hold the ball, to control the ball, to take care of the ball.
Right.
You cannot do that and play Damian Lowe in your starting 11.
So is that the one? Wait. Is that the one person we're talking about?
In the starting 11?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Damian's Lowe, right? Passing accuracy was 87%. 87%.
Brilliant.
Wait. Not only that. The reason why it was 87% and not 96% was because he tried 11 long passes and only 5 got to his destination. 6 didn't. So in essence, Damian Lowe could have had the same stats as Ethan Pinnock, whose passing accuracy was 93%. In fact, if Damian didn't try any long ball, he would have had 95. Pinnock had 93. Now, I would say this about Pinnock is he's a long ball specialist. He does that at Brentford. He was 11 of 13. Damian 5 of 11. So in essence, Damian's passing wasn't the problem yesterday.
All right. Damian's long ball will always be the problem for Damian Lowe.
Right.
The conversation we were having, that coach's desk was talking around rather than, for whatever reason, I think he wanted to get across a point in protection of Damian Lowe when I wasn't actually attacking Damian Lowe. Damian Lowe is who he is or what he is on the football field. So I wasn't intending on discrediting Damian Lowe in any way, shape, or form. I was just pointing out the fact that you have better ball handling defenders in the squad.
Like who?
Than Damian Lowe. All of our defenders are better ball handlers than Damian Lowe.
Right, but you got to think about it this way, Pastor, which is this. So I may be a better ball handler, but Sam Ector was a better ball handler, no doubt. But is he as quick? Does he cover as quickly? Can he cover as much ground?
Hold on. Good. Now, the reason I wouldn't even go to where you're going is because I wasn't talking about, if he didn't say what he said, starting Damian Lowe would not be a big issue for me. It would only be that I don't think he's our best defender. But I wasn't even talking about the fact that he's not our best defender. I was only speaking in respect of the coach's statement, and the two don't go together. They don't match each other. So if you want to protect the football and present yourself for the football, the last player you're going to select is Damian Lowe, because Damian Lowe does not want the ball at his foot when somebody is pressing him. He don't want it. And that is why he plays as many long or tries as many long balls.
You know something, Pastor? There could be some credence to that, but I also think he's very confident in his long passing game, which may not be there. So yesterday, the passes weren't about pressure. He thought the passes would get to the destination, they weren't getting there. So it may be less about him not wanting the ball, but more about him feeling confident about his long passes when they're not as accurate as they should be.
He doesn't have the long passing.
No, he doesn't.
As a person that plays defense every time I play on the football field for as long as I did, even though I never got to Damian Lowe's level, I'll tell you this. If you want to become good at long passes, Kranky, at Manchester High School, which I believe this exists at most, if not all, the top high schools that participate in football, there's a wall on which they segment the goal. You go 35 yards, 40 yards, and you make your passes to the wall. If Damian Lowe wants to develop his craft, his long passing, you put in the work. You do all the drills the coach gives you in training, and then after the coach is done, you go put in the work. Damian Lowe's career is way past halfway. He has had this problem from day one. So it's either he doesn't want to put in the work to learn it, or he cannot learn it. Both of those are on him.
Right.
Because this is his chosen profession. And I'm saying to you, as I did say to both you and coach's desk yesterday evening, that Damian Lowe's inability to connect 75% of his long passes is that he's not necessarily making long passes. He's getting rid of the ball.
Right.
He's a good enough professional to know that if you kick it out to the side, you look like a fool in today's football. And since you have strong forward like Michael Antonio up there, the possibility exists Michael Antonio can bully somebody and get the ball. So he kicks it straight down the middle of the field. And that is the reality. No matter what coach's deck's going to tell me, I am looking at the multitude of games that Damian Lowe has played when he's in the USA, when he was in Egypt. I watch most of those games, even though I watch them delayed or not delayed, rewatch them after they were played. I watch a lot of Damian Lowe games. He literally gets rid of the ball. So because his first look is to get rid of the ball, that is why his first intention is to kick the ball. You say he wasn't under pressure. He isn't waiting to be under pressure. He don't want them to be pressuring him with the ball. I bet you those long passes that he tried to make, there were at least 2 players in shorter distance to him.
Some of the passes, he had shorter passes, but he thought he could get to his destination. It didn't. So he was, look, 87% passing accuracy in any game is good stats, right? But having said that, the ones that he missed were mainly the long passes. So if you look at his stats,
and that's why I said congratulations when you said his passing accuracy was 87%. But what that means is that the midfielders and the wingbacks literally made themselves available or were in positions that he could not see them.
Yeah, no, sometimes I think what he did actually is not only long passing. He made a couple passes between the lines, deep underground, which got to his destination. So we got to give him credit for that too. It wasn't that he,
and every credit that he has earned, he deserves to get. So I'm not, as I said, I will watch the game before commenting on the game. So again, I wasn't speaking negative about Damian Lowe. I was literally speaking negative about the coach.
Right.
Because the coach said one thing but did another.
The fact that it worked out as well as you're saying it did is good for all concerned. So kudos to Damian Lowe. Maybe he is improving. I would hope that that is the case, because other than that, I expect that some players that we have now will not make it to World Cup 2026 if we make it to World Cup 2026. Because I am going to go on record again and say, until we stop the foolishness with places given up for players to get caps over getting our best available players, we're not going to know World Cup.
Well, I'm a firm believer that if you have enough quality players, regardless of the challenge you face as a team, you can overcome various obstacles. So even if you don't have the best coach, even the best facilities, even the referee is challenging, I think if you're good enough and you have enough quality in every position, and I always love to see at least 2 players in every position who can compete, I think the team will go to the World Cup. We need to add some more value, some more quality players to the team. I think we'll be okay. I think we need, we're going to get some forward players. We need some midfielders.
Especially that we're playing 3 competitions prior to the World Cup. We need to have depth quality for every position, minimum 3. So we have 2 competent left backs. We need at least one more. We have 1 right back, because we don't want to. Well, Latibodia was listed as a defender, but the amount of defenders that were in the starting lineup, meaning that Latibodia played midfield. So maybe we can say we have 2 right backs, because we keep not calling Wes Harding, and we haven't found anybody better either. So yeah, but every other position we need to get players for those positions.
So
I heard you say something about.
Go ahead. I have a question.
I heard you say something about Connor Boyce Clark is recalled, and
yes,
Shaquan Davis is the third goalkeeper going to Honduras.
Yes.
I don't think it is a situation where the club can demand him coming back and the window is not over, but maybe because he's the third string keeper and the club may pick up injuries, then they might have some dialogue, which is good for relationship between the club and the country for when they need the player.
Yeah.
So since he's the third goalkeeper and maybe Andre Blake hasn't showed any sign of his previous injury, and we have competent weight, and the young man Shaquan Davis seems to be doing fairly well. So maybe there was some dialogue more than over and above a demand by the club. That will speak to relation building between the country and the club. So yeah, I just think though that if he didn't get any game in the home game because we weren't dominating Cuba, let me not say that, because I'm not going to speak on that game until I watch it. Well, he didn't get any game in the home game, so maybe the club asked them nicely to send him back, and they obliged, which is good for his development.
Yeah.
So we might need him more in the future. So don't prevent him from going back to his club. And yeah.
All right, Pastor.
I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
good to bring Shaquan Davis back in the system since he was doing fairly well, and carry him as the third keeper for cover for the other two that are ahead of him, and go to Honduras. Yeah, and here we go again, Kranky, where a lot of the stupidity that comes out on YouTube, that people are against local players. I don't believe there's anybody that will have an issue with Shaquan Davis called in because there was something worked out, however it was worked out for Connor Boys to go back to his club. I don't believe there's anybody that have a problem with Shaquan Davis called to the squad. Because seemingly his selection is a meritocracy.
Right.
But there are those who continue to spew this nonsense to project their narrative that we don't like local born players.
Yeah, look, I think at the end of the day, that narrative will continue, because if you support someone, then it means you oppose someone else, which is not the case, but that's how it's viewed.
Which is stupidity by definition. That is stupidity by definition, because you're not looking at the circumstances. It is not that I support diaspora players, it's that I support the best players available.
Right.
So wherever they are born is not the issue. The issue is which player is the best available player per position.
Yeah.
Diaspora or local have nothing to do with anything that I have articulated. The fact that our best available players are in the diaspora is not a premise for the conversation. That is just a fact. So when you find the best available player born in Jamaica, you pick that player. But tell me now, of all the CDMs that have played for Jamaica, which one is Adrian Reed Jr. better than?
I'm not going to the Adrian Reed discussion, Pastor. We'll leave that one alone, Pastor. We'll leave that one alone. Even at the team, let's leave that alone. They think he's good enough to be in the team. The coach pick him.
Support him in the team. What I am saying is, don't lie to us and take us for fools, because you did not select him on merit. So don't come out and say he earned his place.
Well, the coach said he selected him on merit, right? That's what the coach says. So we have to go with the coach's word.
So McLaren is a liar.
Well, how are you going to say that?
Because Adrian Reed Jr. is not better than Kevin Lambert on no metrics. Because
Kevin Lambert.
Because Adrian Reed Jr. is not better than what, Joseph?
So Kevin Lambert, they may think he's better.
Kranky, if anybody that watches football makes the statement that Adrian Reed Jr. is better than Kevin Lambert, I am not listening to nothing what they say about football ever again. Anybody that says Adrian Reed Jr. is better than Kevin Lambert, and I'm not talking can become better than Kevin Lambert. I am talking no better than Kevin Lambert.
Right. But the view is that we don't have CDM, so you're saying yeah, go ahead.
Anybody makes that statement that Adrian Reed Jr. presently is better than Kevin Lambert, you cannot have a football conversation with this pastor ever again.
So what are the different? So I haven't watched. I've watched Kevin Lambert a lot. He's an okay player.
He is an okay player.
I haven't watched Adrian Reed a lot. I saw him in the under-20. And I think I may have signed for another game for Cavaliers, but I haven't seen him enough to make an informed decision about his capabilities. But he's only 17, 18 years old, right? He's young. Lambert has been there, done that. So I'm not sure Lambert is the barometer.
I am saying again.
You probably could use Splat instead. You could have said Delano Splat is probably the example you should use.
No. I am not going to use Delano Splat because I am not giving them the opportunity to say I am going for diaspora-born players. I am using a locally born player.
Okay.
That he's not better than. I don't think he is more than maybe about 55% of Kevin Lambert, if so much. And I'm talking from the games I've watched with him.
All right.
As against the games I've watched with Kevin. Now, will he become a better player than Kevin Lambert? We live long enough, we will see. But I am saying presently, he is not close to Kevin Lambert. And I was deliberate not to call no player born in the diaspora.
Right, but here's the thing. Suppose the coach says, look, I've seen Lambert. His upside is not great. So therefore, I'm going to call someone who has a great upside. Couldn't that be the rationale?
If that is the rationale, no, you have to bring in all the diaspora CDMs. And Adrian Reed Jr. is not half of cover that played the 2 games when we were in Austria and went to the under-20 and was our best player in the under-20s. He is not half of Splat that is named to the first team, but was not actually he didn't get the opportunity because of injury. He's not half of neither of those 2 guys. And by the way, for those people who postulate on YouTube that Anderson is an 8 and not a 6, Anderson plays both 6 and 8. And Adrian Reed is not half of Anderson either.
I hear you.
So those are 3 players. And if you call John Russell name, that's 4 players for the same position that Adrian Reed is not half of, none of them.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't have, look,
and all 3, hold on, Kranky, and to use the term you use, those 3 young men, since John Russell is a little older than Anderson, Cover, and Splat, have higher upside than any upside you can see on Adrian Reed Jr.
I'm not going to say that. I don't know what, if you're 17, 18, I don't know what your upside is.
Anderson have a higher upside.
Well, Pastor, you can't say that, Pastor.
Have a higher upside.
Well, Pastor, you can't say that. You can say at this point from what you've seen from them, they may have but you can't definitively say they have an upside because.
But Kranky,
yeah.
It is what we have seen on them only we can speak about. We can't speak about nothing else.
Okay.
It's what we have seen that is used to determine their upside or downside. Only what we see. Isn't that what is used to measure? Isn't that what is used to measure the quality of the players?
Yeah. All right, Pastor. I did say 5 minutes for callers, so you have gotten your 5 minutes.
Yes, I have long overgone 5 minutes.
All right.
I have long overgone 5 minutes. I will continue.
All right, Pastor. Appreciate it. All right, Pastor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you're 5 minutes up. You'll take the next caller. Who's calling in? All right, Pastor. Boy. I know me get beaten in like people like say, let me say this, people. I don't know what Adrian Reed potential is, but I feel like I'm in this seat where if I say either way I go on these things, I get beaten. So if I say I haven't seen anything from Adrian Reed to suggest his potential, people say, see, Kranky, just like overseas players. If I say Adrian Reed looks like he has a lot of talent, they're gonna be like, Kranky, what happened to the under 20? I was told by somebody, I won't say who, that he had a bad tournament, but he's a very good player, and that every coach who has come to Jamaica has picked him in their team, right? And I've also I read recently where he went to Portugal, had some games or tryout with a first division team, and they liked him, but they're trying to work out particulars. So I don't know. I haven't watched. I got to watch a player quite a bit of time to make informed decision about them. He didn't impress me in the under 20. In fact, he didn't do well in the under 20. That's a fact. The only player there that impressed me in one game and he got a red card was Welsh from Leighton Orient, I think he was from. So I can't say that Adrian Reed doesn't have good upside, but I haven't seen enough of him to make an informed decision. And I keep saying this, people. I'm going to keep beating this drum on this. The comparisons we're using to inform our decisions sometimes are flawed. I'm not using police to tell me how good Cavaliers is or how good any of the Cavaliers players are. Because if I did that, then I'd be disingenuous. Because I said Cavaliers early this year against Cincinnati, and they were lost. Literally lost. They were at sea against Cincinnati. And Cincinnati is an MLS team. Good team. But Cincinnati is not like some top 5 league team. And they were lost. Lost. Totally out of their depth. It was like Jamaica against Cuba. Cincinnati make 500 plus pass, they'll make less than 100. Right? So I don't know how to judge some of these players when the competition is not the most difficult competition. That has to be something where we really try to figure out when we see people play, what's the level of competition they're facing? And if they perform well in those competitions, then we can say, you know what? Yeah, I think this player has some, but we sometimes are using some criteria and some levels and some other stuff where you're just like, really, people? Gotta do better than that. Seriously, gotta do better than that. So I can't say at this point that some of these players we talk about are the best players. I can't. I have to see more of these players to then be able to determine that. So anyway, people, I'm supposed to be in for an hour. I've been here for like 2.5 hours. I came in at 7. It's 9:30. I appreciate you being here. Please hit the like button on your way out. I'll be back on Monday to do a pregame show for the Honduras game. Looking forward to that dialogue and the discussion. And I'll be doing a watch-along Tuesday. I think it's 9 Jamaica time, 10 U.S. time. Normally comes on Paramount for the game. So please join me then. And hope you have a wonderful Saturday evening. Whatever you're going to do, be careful. Be careful on those roads, especially driving in Jamaica. It's challenging, especially at night. Be careful out there. Take care. Enjoy the weekend with your family. And I'm going to go out as usual, playing one of my hit songs. See if people like record it here. They'd beat me to death. Playing my Kranky live. All right, people? Take care and good night. Appreciate you. Bye.
Kranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Kranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky life, kill them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky life, kill them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky life, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky life, give me my Kranky life. I want my Kranky life. Must have my Kranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Kranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Kranky life. Kill them, Kranky life. Heed them, Kranky life. Want them, Kranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Kranky Live. Tune into Kranky Live. Like up Kranky Live. Subscribe to Kranky Live. Kranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Kranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Kranky will always bring the heat. Kranky life, me say fi tell them Kranky life. Me say fi eat them Kranky life. On them, Kranky life. Kranky life will be around. Kranky life is the best in town. Me say fi eat them, me say fi want them. Me say fi eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Kranky. Eat them, want them, eat them, want them. Eat, one, eat them.